PCAE Computer-Aided Environment Project. Sorocaba, Brazil 2020. Biography. Caicon Ricardo Paes Marcino de Almeida. Born in the city of Apa, located in the state of São Paulo, Brazil, he is currently majoring in Information Technology Management. He has some experience in the industrial automation area, where he has already worked as an operator of an automated station for treatment and disposal of lathes waste. Has technical courses in C# programming language, but did not work on software development in a professional way, being an amateur in areas such as electronics, robotics, and even in music, where he plays violin, piano. Abstract. Again, I've been gathering my ideas, forgive my inability to write. Computer-assisted natural environment design. Among the varied hobbies that are cultivated today, there is aquarism, where species are available in beautiful arrangements in order to decorate the environment. The design of an aquarium is a very interesting hobby. What you don't notice is that an aquarium usually returns to its environment in many useful ways. Because aquatic plants tend to filter water. Beneficial bacteria remove nitrogen. Water from aquariums can be used as beneficial irrigation for plants. You can design an aquarium in parts where the water is first treated with appropriate plants, then passes through filter media and then comes into contact with fish and undergoes biological filtration. After this process, water can be heated and chlorine added, which makes it drinkable for consumption. There are several hobbies of the aquarium family, such as terrarium, paludarium, vivarium, where the conditions of the animal environment are recreated and then they can be stored in their bioactive environment. In nature, various forms of coexistence between beings are observed, generating mutual cooperation, as would be the case with composting, where insects, beetles and earthworms transform organic material into appropriate fertilizer for planting, humus-producing beings, etc. Also called an ecosphere, that would be a glass container where elements of an environment are added. Homeostasis can be observed, that is, a balance of the environment. What is perceived is that when adding certain species to each other, there will be a return of the environment, as would be the case of an ant farm, where there will occasionally be an overpopulation of its members, which could become food for other species such as fish, etc. What could be proposed would be a controlled environment with passage valves, that is, by increasing the number of members of one species, the passage to another environment with a predatory species opens up. In case it is necessary to regulate nutrients in order to reap benefits, an automated regulator can be developed, with a motor with medium capacity like those found in fans, and then a screw of the screw type that is dosing the contents of a silo with nutrients in water or on land. Even when planting, a machine that spreads the fertilizer on the soil and mixes it. More complex systems such as robotic arms could maintain problems. Air conditioners could already release nutrients into the air and water and filter the air that leaves the system with valves, and even biologically filter the air from a location. Terrarium and biocomposting. There are countless possible results, and a computer simulation is necessary to better explain some possible benefits of the system of a biocomposter and terrarium system, where it would result in a fertile substrate that could be a closed quarry, where species of moist environments such as lizards and pet snakes would be created between plants. Low light. A screen underneath, and then the decomposition organisms can even be bought humus in garden stores and deposited at that level. Usually insect eggs like earthworms already come in these humus, which is the procreation. A tapered tube can be designed where food remains that later decompose into nutrients. At the bottom of the system, a removable box with high handles will become the deposit of this fertilized land. After an appropriate time, the excess soil is removed from the bottom, and the byproduct of this system, which would be fertile soil, is used. Species such as turtles feed on these insects naturally, generating a cycle. Other species of plants can proliferate through mechanical planting, creeping fruit plants such as blackberries, raspberries that feed small animals such as hamsters. As for the aquariums already extensively studied, there are several species that can even be found in fish stores that have an affordable price that reproduce easily, as the guppies can be the base of the food chain, it is important to design a breeding ground outside the system because system conditions, there is a risk of losing the entire litter, not least because the geckos have populational control that prevents procreation when their members reach overpopulation. Another source of species are live baits that are widely used in fishing, such as aquariums. Found in aquarium stores, Lamaris can also become populous in aquariums and have low cost. Some species are sold in quantity in the form of eggs. Artemiacysts become food for fry, and even the base of the food chain. However, they do not develop in fresh water, and it is necessary to acquire species such as Daphnia that survive in fresh water. Even freshwater prawns, such as Malaysian prawns, can still become an important source of income for fish farmers. From the fusion of aquarium and terrarium comes the malaria that would be the union of the two in a closed environment. Generally, a large aquarium of at least 200 liters should be used so that there is no loss of species and even better space control. In the environment where the beings that inhabit swamps and even a dry portion are added, like tadpoles of frogs that develop in the future and become food for other species, like green snakes that, because they do not have poison, can become pets. The interested hobbyist has the possibility of collecting wild species. An example would be in the case of an aquarium certain garden species that are aquatic, such as clovers. Certain types of grass are semi-aquatic and can be planted in aquariums and small ponds. As for animals, there are those that are aquatic and resistant, such as dragonfly nymphas that can live long in aquatic form until they develop. Certain beetle worms also live for some time, generating greater durability to the system. Vegetable species that can be purchased in garden stores and also proliferate in free environments are desirable, as the plant known as the sword of São Jorge, which, by using low light, is favorable in terrarium etc. Carnivorous plants have the specialty of requiring few nutrients, collecting the missing nutrients from captured animals. Bromeliads and other species feed on other species, extracting nutrients from the host plant. Still in a stage in which the system is already working, the largest species can then be removed, for example, caterpillar eggs from the environment, lizard eggs that can grow a little more, even birds' eggs that need to be hatched before, like quails that because they are small they adapt well in smaller places. To collect the species, it was possible to use water-sealed glasses for aquatic species such as fish and aquatic plants, glasses sealed with soil where terrestrial species are deposited, such as insects. Many species are fragile. To move damped containers can reduce damage, such as foam, straw, dead leaves, etc. Among the containers there are several, preferably with a lid. The flexible plastic wrap DVDs can help to condition the seeds, being very important to label. You can even collect species that are interested in learning how to plant them. Collect edible mushrooms from which you can extract replant fragments in more humid places like the bottom of houses.